Hello, I'm Jerrel. I'm the developer of the Silver Falls games, and I just wanted to share a few of the upcoming things in the series. First, I wanted to say happy spooky season to everyone. I hope you're all having a great Halloween season. Me personally, I like to have YouTube videos running all day long, and I like to listen to cool, scary stories that people put up and stuff like ghost stories from around the world and creepy cryptids and that kind of thing. That's always fun to listen to while I work throughout the day. So ever since Three Down Stars launched, and even recently, um, people have asked why isn't there more music in Three Down Stars? And just earlier today, there's a Twitch streamer that was playing Three Down Stars, and that's Pete Dorr. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of you playing the game and sharing the game with people. So thanks so much. I'll put a link to your Twitch channel in the description. And for anyone that likes horror stuff, it looks like Pete Dorr is playing a bunch of horror stuff, and that's exactly the kind of video that I like watching in October. So I'm going to be watching a few obscure and cool looking horror games on his Twitch that I've never even used Twitch before. I've never seen a Twitch. I actually signed up so I could check out his video. So I'm going to watch a few of those this week. So thanks again to Pete Dorham. I'm so appreciative. I know the game is a little rough around the edges. There's a lot of things that could have been a lot better in terms of development. But hey, we got a finished product out in the end, rough edges and all. And I'm appreciative to everyone who's enjoyed the game despite all of its flaws. And I'm so appreciative that everyone's looking forward to the upcoming games in the series where we don't necessarily have to work in such a difficult development environment. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So to get to the question of why isn't there more music in Three Down Stars? So when I was creating music for Three Down Stars, I specifically was creating the music and then running it through the 3DS speaker to listen to what it sounded like and what sounds could be represented um, well. And one thing I have to do with the music for the 3DS is compress them heavily. And I could put the music at a higher quality, but Unity 3DS, which is what we use to create Three Down Stars, Unity is extremely unstable, and if I were to increase the music quality, I honestly don't know if the 3DS would just explode. So they have to stay at a low bit rate, which kind of sucks because that means any low sounds in the music just get lost. You don't hear them; they get garbled. So unfortunately, um, it was a matter of technical constraints and time constraints. I did want to write more music for Three Down Stars, and I didn't really have time. Something a number of people have messaged and said, "Oh, there's long stretches of the game where there's just no music. It's just the sound of the wind or whatever." And people have asked, "Can there be more music?" Um, I would like to put more music in there, but it wouldn't really work out on the 3DS because of the speakers and the music that I did want to create would be in the lower register. The portion of the game that people do want added music added to, it just wouldn't sound right having music with a higher register in it. And so I've actually the past couple weeks I've been creating new instruments, and this is one of them. So I didn't buy much to make this. I had parts. I had these tuning machines. I had old strings. I had this bracket. I had a cookie tin that's been sitting around in my backyard for a few years. I had this stick that was holding up some plants. Uh, I had this thing that's just meant to sort of mount a frame. So this is what I call a monster stick. I've made a couple of these, and it doesn't sound like much really. I wonder how the microphone will pick it up. But ideally you use a violin bow. So I will be using this for upcoming soundtracks and Three Down. And when I do the Switch version of Three Down Stars, I will be creating a few more tracks, and I will be using this guy. And again, one of the reasons that I didn't create more music for Three Down Stars was because the music that I wanted to use to fill the empty space, I didn't want to use musical instruments because you can tell that they're musical, and I didn't have this back then. And I created this to make sounds that were not musical. So I was looking for sounds like this. I'll show you the different parts I'm bowing here. So you can see there's a lot that you can do with this instrument. It just depends on how you bow, your technique, where your position that you bow. So I call this the monster stick. I've made a couple different ones. They all do different things. So I'm quite excited about using that for future soundtracks. So I hope you thought that was fun. Um, and another instrument that I've created that I'll be using in for the first time in Campfire Stories and for future soundtracks is something called a Mando Cello. So I purchased a pretty cheap guitar. If you have a look at the headstock here, I've modified it. I've added different tuning machines and I've put two up there. And if you have a look at these strings here, it's not equipped like a guitar. It's got four courses that are in pairs. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? And it gives a very interesting sound that's not it's not like a guitar. I'm definitely not sitting in the right position for this. So this is again I'm looking for different interesting sounds for instruments uh, to help Silver Falls feel more distinct as opposed to sounding like the music came out of one of those stock royalty free, we'll just play one chord again and again, sort of generic um, soundtrack machines and royalty free websites. I really want the music to stand out as something interesting that helps remind you that Silver Falls is a place. It's an idea. It's a bunch of characters. It's a bunch of stories, and not just generic sounds. Um, so I'm creating a couple instruments. Some I'm creating from scratch. Some I'm converting from other instruments into different instruments and modifying them to get interesting sounds. So that's Mando Cello. You can see I've got a tailpiece on there. One of the strings broke and it became short, so I've actually just put a peg in there. Um, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to that. So what's coming next is I'm working on 2 chapters for Heavy Shadow, and it looks like the story will wrap up by chapter 20. So I'm working on chapter 15 and 16, and those chapters, chapter 15 will be going live within the next couple days, and chapter 16 will go live sometime before Halloween, but definitely in time for Halloween. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's going to get a little bit more action-packed and a bit more spooky, and we're going to get some questions answered as to what the heck was in Dodger's basement exactly. You're going to find out this month. So and in terms of Campfire Stories, I'm a few weeks behind on development with Campfire Stories. During development, I just thought it would be a waste if I didn't expand the roster a bit more so I can fit more playable characters in. That would make the game very interesting, not just from a gameplay standpoint, but from a story standpoint. But that also meant that I had to write a lot of dialogue for a lot of characters. So over after the game launches over the next year that follows, we'll be running promos to send out unlock codes to get new characters added to Campfire Stories as playable. And as we have future games launch, what I've planned for the foreseeable future, pretty much every Silver Falls game that will be launching in the future will connect back to Campfire Stories, and it will unlock new characters. So I'm a few weeks behind because I've just been forward planning and making sure there's content already in the game and ready to go. And again, I'll be running promos so that people can get characters early, and you don't necessarily need to buy the future games. You can get the characters from promo unlock codes and whatnot. So, and in terms of fun videos that I'll be uploading for you guys to just watch and enjoy, I'll be uploading some videos on formatting characters, how I get the graphics for characters formatted and set up so that now they're usable as a video game character. So I'll show you that process, the system that I've created for that, and I will create a few videos as I build stages for Campfire Stories. And that's all coming up. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by and for watching the video. I hope you thought those instruments were interesting, and I hope you understand why I couldn't get more music into Three Down Stars. But as we get the Switch version is eventually going to land in full production after I get a few games wrapped up, then I will be adding a few more tracks to that. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the Halloween season, and please look forward to Heavy Shadow chapters 15 and 16, and we will check in again soon. So take care of yourselves, be well, be safe, and look, diabetes isn't great, but it's Halloween. Eat tons of candy and enjoy yourself. I'll see you around.